Good evening and welcome to episode 72 of the Jacksonian. I'm yours truly, Jackson Johnson, and I have with me is the founder of NBA Rumors and News on Instagram and the co-host of Rutgers at the Voice of College Football Monday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Rutgers at the Voice of College Football. And I always call him the underrated versions of Shams, the one and only himself, Gabriel Pickup.
Yes,
As we'll be,
sir.
there we go as we'll be going over our take on the Tom Thibodeau firing from the Nets. Who are the Nets going to get as their Nets head coach? The NBA Finals, and much, much more, including the Rutgers football schedule for 2025. And let me tell you something, folks. You're going to be in for a wild ride just a little bit before the start of the NBA Finals.
Oh yeah.
How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I kind of wish I had a pool because I just went for a run and I could really use a pool to jump in, but it's all good because I got my buddy H2O next to me. So, I'll cool down one way or another. Just feels like a dunk in the pool might be a little quicker.
Yeah, I've got my little H2O prepared as well. I got three of them all set.
Drink water, folks.
There you go. Like, don't drink too much caffeine. Caffeine's bad.
Mm,
Only use it when you have to,
I'm
not when you
guilty of
don't.
that myself. Although my qualm isn't coffee, it's soda, and that's probably worse.
Right? I mean, it's like Coca-Cola. Like, I
Yeah.
love that stuff, but I've been making an effort to lay off it, especially because I'm on air here and there. So it's like, got to watch that
No,
stuff.
no free promo, right?
Not yet. It's like they'll have to get me something.
Yeah. Exactly. They might need to retire my jersey by the time it's all said and done.
There you go, man.
Although I'm more of a Pepsi guy.
Well, I'm a Coca-Cola guy, but again,
Ooh,
yep.
we'll fight. Just like I forget who it is. There's some commit. I forget his name off the top of my head. He's down to five schools, and Rutgers and Bama are in the five.
Ooh, yeah, wow, that's huge.
Yeah, we've been doing good for the commits so far. These past few days have been a roller coaster for us.
Oh, there we go, man. I can't wait to definitely hear about this young man later today. That's for sure. But for those who don't know more about you, should I tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so hope we'll see once this gets past the 15-minute mark if this is here to stay or not. We've had some issues past day or two, but once we get past that 15-minute mark, then we'll know for sure. But about me, 25 years old, just joined the Voice of College Football 3 or 4 months ago. It was mid-February, early February, right before Valentine's Day. So this really is the love of my life, the work that I'm putting in.
Yes.
Um, I have my NBA Rumors and News account on Instagram. It's spelled just how it sounds, no underscores, nothing like that. Definitely give that a follow. Say where you came from, and I'll give you a follow back. And speaking of NBA Rumors and News, I'm a New York Knicks fan, so I'm heartbroken, but it was a fantastic year. And we'll definitely talk about a recent transaction involving former head coach Tom Thibodeau. God, that sounds sad to say.
All
Um,
right.
and whatever potential dealings may happen, I think it's going to be a different team by this point next year, like really different team, for better or worse. And New York sports fan. So my next delusional take is going to be rooting for the Mets until November or October.
Oof. I don't think you're gonna like who I pull for Major League
Hey,
Baseball.
we're doing good so far, but it's the New York Mets. So I mean, I'm not getting my hopes up just yet. We have the best
Oh
record
man.
in the National League, but I've said that before and watched our team choke. So we'll see.
Well, I will say I don't think you're gonna like who I pull for in Major League Baseball.
Yankees, Braves.
The Atlanta Braves.
Oh, okay. See, 2 or 3 years ago, I would have been like on guard, but like right now, right
On
now,
guard! On guard!
right now, with all due respect to you guys, we're a tier above at the current moment. So like, if it comes down to it, like in a few months, maybe I'll feel that way. But right now, I'm feeling pretty lax, especially because in baseball, there's 162 games, right? So
Yeah.
like in basketball, half of that, football especially, college football, there's like 11 or 12 games depending on the year. And with those, every single game matters. But with baseball, you don't really get that sense until like really September.
Yeah. So, but on the bright side, at least we ain't the Rockies.
Oh my god! You know they just swept the Marlins.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Imagine being a Marlins fan and you get swept by the Rockies.
Oh my
They
god!
were 9-50 and now they're 12-50.
Oh man!
Yeah, I think they started taking those White Sox allegations a little too harshly.
Oh man! I don't think I'm gonna quit laughing at the Rockies sweeping the Marlins, but
You know, my friend, he's a little bit of a sports betting addict, and I do not advise it. He bet Marlins money line every single game because he's like, surely they'll win this time.
how much did he bet?
That I don't know. I just know the odds were not in his favor.
Oh my god, it was that much! Like,
You know what I told him? It's kind of funny, and I am no financial expert, but I said, just keep betting exponentially more against the Rockies, and eventually you'll strike even, right?
oh my
Like if you
god!
lose $5, bet $10. If you lose $10 and the $5, you bet $15. Keep doing
Oh,
that.
well, I have a feeling he bet more than that.
Oh yeah, probably. He
It's
sends me
like,
some of his bets. They're outrageous, and
oh god,
they're like $50 8-leg parlays that are just not going to happen.
oh lord. If you're gonna do like a parlay, like make sure it's like a $5 week a
Yeah,
week. Like,
that's what I usually do is like I only put in like $5, and I kind of just do a bunch of sports bets instead of one big one, and I'll do like I'll do 250 for a certain bet, and then I'll do 125 for the next bet, 63 cents. I'll keep cutting it in half until I can't do that anymore, just so I can pace myself.
oh man, it's like I'm getting tired of waiting for Alabama to legalize sports betting. So
I'm
it's like,
surprised you guys haven't yet. I know it's like sports betting is supposedly a left thing and Alabama's right, but it feels like it's not really political at this point.
yeah, I mean, I'm just like at this point, I may just have to like get another bank account in Tennessee or Mississippi. Like
Yeah,
Mississippi has sports betting before Alabama does.
that is wild, yeah. And because Bama's very sports driven, like not necessarily in the Big Four, but you look at yours truly, the University of Alabama, and then Auburn, of course, too. Like that rivalry pretty much fuels Alabama with sports.
Oh yeah, there we go. Well, the birds are chirping and they
Yeah,
are
you hear
pretty
that?
happy because they still think it's spring. Well, unfortunately, it's only a few weeks left of spring, but
It doesn't feel like spring right now, I'll tell you. It feels like
no,
summer.
it's summer. You ever go to Bama? It's really the dog days of summer.
I've never been to Bama.
Oof. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. You ever come here, it's gonna feel really hot. Like
Yeah, I mean,
really.
well, I can't say that actually because the person I'm traveling to doesn't know and he might watch this. But I'm going somewhere in a week or two to surprise somebody. And
Oh,
it's very hot where they are too.
there you go. Hear that, audience? Look, we gotta keep it.
Yeah, let's keep that on the DL. There's a certain holiday coming up that I'm surprising someone for. If you know, you know. I'm sure if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Well, alrighty. So the New York Knicks made a surprising decision on Tuesday. We
Yeah.
got the report from Shams on ESPN that Tom Thibodeau has been fired after leading the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals. It is so big that even Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk and Crystal Kyle and Friends has even talked about it, where he says, quote, I don't know how I feel about this. He gave us the best Knicks teams in my life. That being said, I don't know if he's able to get us all the way. Either way, I'm thankful to him for 5 great years. And I'm sure there's a few other people I need to go look at, but like Q-Smo Jimbo from Crane and Company commented his take on it. And there's like several more people, but what's Gabriel Pickup's take
Well,
on this whole?
I want to know what your pal Paul Feinbaum, if he said anything about it.
I don't think he has,
Did
but
you talk to him today yet? When do you usually talk to him?
I usually talk to him once a week, but
Yeah, okay.
I'll probably be talking to him tomorrow for sure.
Got you. Well, that's definitely a nice little bonus question. I'm sure he's addressed it though at this point, right? What does he cover? Everything pretty much.
College football and whatever Jim from Tuscaloosa is yelling about.
Oh, okay. All right, so maybe he hasn't. I'll give my take then. See, when I first got this breaking news, uh, I was heartbroken but not shocked. It's been a rumor, but see, what I thought was it had been 2 days since we had been eliminated from the playoffs, and I thought he was safe because Brunson really had his back. Leon Rose had his back, but it ultimately was Leon Rose who made the decision to fire him, and it was with Dolan's approval. Um, Now, I will say there was a players' meeting that went down right after the elimination, in which, quote, the star players were invited. So when you think of that, you think the starting lineup plus Mitch or Josh Hart, whoever you want to say is the fifth starter. And, ultimately the consensus must have been that he's not the guy for the job. But with that being said, he's delivered an Eastern Conference Finals appearance for the first time in my life. He's delivered four play four playoff appearances. Four playoff appearances in 5 years. And the first year that we made the playoffs, we were supposed to be a bottom three team in the league. Like we were coming in that year, like ranked like 28th, 27th, depending on what source you look at for power rankings. And he made Julius Randle. Well, Julius Randle put in the work. Let's not act like these guys aren't putting in the work. But this, like systematically, he provided a system where Julius Randle can be the best player on a fourth seed, and that's amazing. And that's no diss to Randle. Randle became an amazing player, but at the time, no one expected anything near that because I'll tell you, the year before that, Knicks fans started calling Randle Beyblades because all he would do was spin and get turnovers. But he really, when it comes to Tibbs, he provided a culture that I'm extremely thankful for. And I was disappointed, but we have some candidates that I'm optimistic towards and I would be thrilled to get. And, people are trying to compare this firing to possibly Mark Jackson being fired from the Warriors. And I'm not saying that we'll get like 4, 6 rings, whatever it may be, because Doug Collins was another comparison with the Bulls before Phil Jackson. I'd be happy with 1 ring, but ultimately, they didn't think that he was the coach to do it. He hasn't won a ring yet, but I thought he could have been the guy. But I guess, Leon Rose thinks differently, and I'm not here to question him because every time I question him, I'm wrong and he's right.
Well, a lot of people have been saying Mike Malone or bust for the coaching candidates for the Nets. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I've heard that. And yesterday I was saying to my friends, actually, that I don't think he's the guy just because New York it's the mecca of basketball. And that's not just a nickname, it's the media. A lot of players born and raised there end up playing basketball. There's a lot of high schools. College not as big of a presence there, but there's still St. John's and UConn right around the corner. I ultimately think the pressure it'll get to people. It gets to everyone. And outside of basketball, I think Mike Malone just doesn't really care like he should. He doesn't have the humanitarian aspect, in my opinion, to be a good coach in New York City. He was a championship coach in Denver, but that's a lot less pressure because even though they've never won a ring, it's a smaller market. And it seemed like eventually they were destined to because they had the 2-time MVP at the time and a solid core. With the Knicks, I think anytime someone has a problem, he wouldn't be the guy to talk to. And I think you need more than a coach. You need a human as the head coach. And, everyone's human, but would he be able to provide that source for other people when they're human? I don't think so. So he's not my guy. I don't think we're going to get him. It wouldn't be the end of the world if we got him, but I just wouldn't choose him as my head coach.
Well, and I will say though, there are some other candidates that we are looking for the Nets, of course. But Danny Hurley, I heard, turned it down.
Yeah. He turned it down. He said, I don't want to go through another summer of that, meaning being in a coaching hunt. And it seems like he's locked in at UConn. So, it was another year, right, where they didn't win the championship. They didn't even get close, but they almost beat the 1 seed. Who was it? They faced a 1 seed and they lost by like a possession. Florida. And look at Florida. They won the freaking championship. Granted, in my opinion, it was the luckiest championship run I've ever seen. And we are past the 15-minute mark, so hopefully we are here to stay.
Yes. Yeah.
I was counting that down in my head. I don't want to jinx anything. Hopefully, we're still here. But Dan Hurley, I'm kind of happy he turned it down because I think he has similar issues to Mike Malone. There are some candidates I do like. The most obvious one is Johnny Bryant, who was Tibbs's top guy, and he knows the system very well. He's seen the pressure. He's handled the pressure. Guys, I'm sure, have come to him complaining about Tibbs or complaining about Leon Rose or Dolan or the fans, the media, whatever it may be. So he has experience with that. Even other players, player versus player qualms, they happen. So he's definitely, in terms of systematically like adjusting, that would be the easiest transition. But my favorite guy, and Shams reported this yesterday as a possibility, is Ime Udoka, head coach of the Houston Rockets. Now, will he leave is the question because they have a very bright future, but it's challenging in the West. The East next year specifically is almost wide open. When you look at Tatum being out for the year, the Cavs, they, no matter how good their record is, they can't make it past the second round, it seems. The Bucks, they're going to get worse no matter what because they're either trading Giannis or they're getting a year older with Dame being out for the year, and that's no good. The Sixers are keeping their core, which kind of to me means they're in net neutral. There's other teams I'm forgetting, but when it comes to that, the Knicks are definitely an enticing option in the East. Ime, if you're listening, come to New York, baby. We love you. We saw what you did for the Celtics before those out of office operations cost you your job. It's okay, buddy. You went to Houston. You proved yourself to be a good coach no matter where you are. Leading that team from out of the play into the number 2 seed. We'd love you here. And there's no chance in hell you hear this, but if you do, oh my God, please, bro. We would love you in New York City.
You heard it here, folks. There's a push for what's his name again?
Ime Udoka.
Ime Udoka.
Yes, sir.
Ime Udoka to the New York Knicks.
Oh, please.
I'm impressed with the job he did with the Rockets this season because
they don't have a star. I mean, look, Şengün's an all-star, but he's not the there's no guy on that team that. I mean, Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet showed flashes, but there's no guy on that team that can handle the ball and get you a bucket when you really need one. So the closest thing they have is Green, who's super inconsistent, had a horrible playoffs, and I'm rooting for him, but that's just a fact. And Fred VanVleet, who's solid and clutch, but not a star. So the fact that they went to the 2 seed with no expectations and no superstar, there's no one on that team that's top 20. Şengün, you can say top 25. There's no one on that team that's like, an A-tier star, and he took them to the 2 seed. That's freaking impressive.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm amazed with what the Rockets have been doing, and I was worried that it was just going to be another Lakers Celtics NBA Finals, but I'll be honest, I'm glad that I was wrong on that because we get to see a little something different. And we're looking at the Pacers Thunder tonight on ABC. Who do you think could win it all? To be honest,
I don't think it's going to be close, unfortunately. I think it's going to be the Thunder winning, and, the Pacers might get a game. I have it in 4. I think they're sweeping. Because to me, right, I feel like if you're a Pokemon, oh God, I sound like a boomer. If you're a Pokemon collector, Pokemon watcher, Pokemon player, I think the Pacers are Pichu. And I said this to my friend yesterday. I said the Thunder are Pikachu. He goes, no, man, they're Raichu. They're 2 steps above them. They're the evolved version. They're younger. They're quicker. They have even better defenders. Like if you're Tyrese Halliburton, you have nobody on the Thunder you can switch on. If let's say your primary defender is Lou Dort, one of the best defenders in the league, or Alex Caruso. You get a screen, you switch to who? Chet Holmgren, who's fast and can block shots and can keep up with you when you drive to the rim. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, super underrated defender and tall. Switch on to Jalen Williams, all-defensive second-team Jalen Williams. You can switch on to Hardenstein, sure, but if you miss the shot, you still have Chet Holmgren out there who's going to get the rebound, and you have Hardenstein, who basically it's a one-shot kind of guy. If you don't make the shot, you're screwed. and they're both amazing outlet passers. The Thunder to me they're just perfect. So I have the Thunder in 4, and I'm not just saying that as a salty Knicks fan. I saw what the Pacers can do. When they're hot, they're the best team in the league. I just don't see a way they can even get hot.
Well, and I like what the Thunder did several years ago when they were like, okay, we're kind of getting the hint that we're never getting that NBA title with Durant and Westbrook and those guys. So we're gonna okay, Durant's leaving us. We gotta trade Westbrook.
Yeah, and Paul
And
George.
oh yeah. Paul
I mean,
Paul
it's impressive that you lose Kevin Durant for nothing, and you still get this amazing juggernaut of a team.
oh yeah. I because it's like I love what the general manager of the Thunder has done.
He's
Like
been there since they were the Supersonics.
yeah, that's huge. And if
You know,
he
there's only sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off. There's only 3 players in the league that are that were there's only 3 Supersonics that are still in the league.
oh wow.
Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Jeff Green. And Jeff Green might have played his last year this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
runs deep. And to think that Sam Presti was there for it is crazy.
Oh man, that is awesome, man. If the NBA was to go back to having the Seattle Supersonics, I'm hoping like the Thunder will give the Supersonics history to Seattle.
Yeah, we see that with the Cleveland Browns, right? When they became the Ravens, they started a new history, and then the
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns came back. Um, it's difficult. I mean, with the Charlotte Hornets, they I think they became the Charlotte Bobcats, and then the New Orleans Jazz eventually went to Utah, and then basically New Orleans became the Hornets, but then they became the Pelicans. So then it went full circle, right? And we don't know if there will be a full circle with the the rights to the Supersonics. They'll come back eventually, though. Um,
Oh yeah. Definitely in our lifetime.
yeah,
Probably before we turn 40.
I forget who it is. I think it's Gary Payton who said he doesn't want his jersey retired unless it's by the Supersonics,
Yeah.
and he's arguably the best player in that franchise's history. Whether it's him, KD, or Westbrook, SGA is making a case, but it's up to you. I mean, longevity wise, it's probably Gary Payton, and he's saying he doesn't want his jersey retired by the Thunder. That's a pretty big middle finger to the relocated franchise.
Wow.
Imagine they win a ring and he still doesn't want his jersey retired.
Yikes. It's like ownership, man. Like the owners, like, yeah, they gotta take note of this.
Yeah, I think the New Orleans Hornets played in Oklahoma City after Hurricane Katrina, and that's what made that city want a franchise.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what'll happen for the next few years throughout the NBA, which brings me to my next point. All these firings, right?
Yeah,
With the exception of like Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich, anybody that's basically won an NBA finals over the last several years has gotten fired.
yep.
And I don't know why, but something is nagging at me that we could see like the Pacers do something like that, where it's like, oh, congratulations. Oh, by the way, you're fired, pal.
I think Rick Carlisle's job is pretty safe at the moment, just because they weren't supposed to make it past the first round either year, like
Yeah.
based on the seeding at least.
Well, I hope it doesn't happen to them, but it's just like we've seen strange things happen. Like, cause I mean, we were able to talk a little bit about before we got cut off by certain tech stuff. But we talked a little bit about Jerry Krause, where he was just telling Phil Jackson, "Oh, hey, 98 is gonna be your last year. Doesn't matter
Yeah,
what happens. You're fired, pal. Oh, congratulations on the NBA
yeah,
Finals. You're still fired, pal."
yeah. He won 5 rings, but imagine saying that to your 5-time head coach or your 5-time NBA champion head coach, and then he goes on to win a ring regardless.
Oh man.
And
That
guess what? By him doing that, Michael Jordan also retired because MJ at the time said that he wouldn't play for anyone else.
Yeah, because it's like that's a bad move by Jerry Krause.
Yeah, that NBA scoring record might look a little more lopsided if he stayed around because he got like 30 something thousand. I think it was just 31 or 32,000. And Kareem's record at the time before LeBron broke it was 38 something. But MJ missed like 5, 6 years of playing.
Oh yeah,
Like that record could have been like 41 or 42, you know?
yeah.
And then he also broke his legs his second year. But yeah, I mean, jobs in the NBA are fickle. They might be more fickle than the NFL. And college football, it feels like it's increasingly growing towards that state, right, where coaches are getting fired a little more often than they used to be. Because originally it was like you're part of this program, like you're a fundamental piece. But now with NIL and all of these deals increasing funding in college football, it seems like coaches are on the move now too a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I really think there should be less firings
Yeah.
on the head coaches. To be honest, I feel like more time should be given, and I say that for like college football. I say that the NFL, NBA. You know, it's like it's just a completely dumb move to just fire somebody for slipping on a banana peel.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike Malone, that was weird, right? I mean, the guy that replaces him, he seems like a perfect NBA coach because he's such a nerd, but he knows like how to be relatable too, and that's kind of a perfect combination with coaching. JJ Redick said before he got hired by the Lakers, you have to be a sicko to be an NBA coach, and that's kind of how I see that new Nuggets coach. He's Rick Adelman's son. I think his name is David Adelman.
Yeah.
Um, and he seems amazing. Honestly, he might be better than Mike Malone. But at the time, Mike Malone, NBA championship coach, getting fired 3 games before the playoffs. Like, you can't just wait until the year's over, see if you still have a chance. They did take the Thunder to 7, though. So,
Oh yeah. So I mean, there's that.
yeah,
But
they got 3 wins. The rest of the NBA has 1.
good grief. It's like there's just way too many. Like the Suns, for example. It's like,
Budenholzer.
yeah, it's. I don't even think they know what they want, honestly.
This might sound crazy, but I think they should have chosen Budenholzer over Booker and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I mean, they just got Jordan Knott as their head coach. Who's the Cavs assistant coach, but like Devin Booker was involved in that. Kevin Durant had no say. So you got
Oh,
to
obviously,
Durant's
because
gone.
Durant's basically old news at this point. You know, it's like he was thunderstruck in 2012, right?
Yeah,
Now he's just like an old man. So,
yeah, I remember that "You the Real MVP" speech like it was yesterday.
oh man, it's like you know he's yesterday's news at this point, and Suns definitely want Booker happy, but at the same time, I kind of just feel like the Suns should just trade everybody, just like trade everybody, just
Yeah,
just go you know sell Durant to the nearest bidder. Same with Booker.
honestly, I don't even want to say this because I don't want him on my team. Not even like for whatever other reasons other than age. He's a great player, but if we trade for Kevin Durant to the New York Knicks, it severely limits our championship window from like the next 5 years to the next like 2 years max.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, it was like I remember hearing like the Nets at one point when
You
they.
went back to the Nets.
Oh man, it's like they. I remember hearing the Nets like a few years back when they traded for James Harden. They were getting Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Everybody would say, "Oh, that's going to be a super team that wins an NBA Finals." Like I don't even think they're going to make it to the conference finals because
And
I
you
mean,
were right.
I did my best to be, but I was just like, this reads exactly the same thing when they traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett 2013.
Hey, if Kevin Durant wore a sneaker size smaller though, they would have made the conference finals. I don't know if you remember that game 7.
Oh man, that was a classic.
Yeah, foot on the line, but
Mm,
it went to overtime instead of winning.
I know. Oh man, that was so nuts. Like the Nets, they just come up short on everything. Like they
Literally.
they were going to get an NBA Finals by getting Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett in 2013.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh, we're beating the Celtics. Like, yeah, you're beating the Celtics for 1 year. You
yeah, but
mortgaged your whole future for 2 years.
I
And
mean,
where did it get you?
in like a 3 or 4 year span, they traded away the draft rights to Damian Lillard, Draymond Green, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown.
Oh, so
Imagine that team.
that is so dumb. Trading away your draft rights.
That's an all-star four.
Mm. I'm I I'm hoping somebody will make a video compilation of the epic fail of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, honestly, no offense to Nets fans because I know one or two of them that actually I can confirm exist. But it seems like with New York, right? Baseball, Yankees, Mets, I'd say it's about 60-40 Yankees to Mets. Jets, Giants, it's pretty much dead even. Hockey, Rangers, Devils, honestly, is more of a rivalry than Rangers, Islanders in New York. The only Islanders fans there are really Long Island fans. But Rangers, Devils, it's about like 70-30. But when it comes to basketball, that's just a Knicks town. There's really no Nets fans in New York. Most of the Nets fans are in New Jersey.
Oh,
And they should really move back to Jersey. I really don't think the Brooklyn Nets as like a pitch, like as a selling point is a strong one. When it's probably 80 to 20 Knicks Nets fans in Brooklyn alone.
I mean, it would be nice to see a Brooklyn Major League Baseball team again, but I mean, Brooklyn Nets, it's just there's just nothing positive about it because like the Nets just suck.
Barclays Center is a nice arena. That's pretty much all I can give them.
Pretty much.
Like, and I guess the jerseys are there. I mean, it's fine, but like the history of since 2013, I believe they came to Brooklyn. It's just not there.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel there for sure.
No.
But we know something that's there in Jersey. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Oh, okay. That transition.
Oh yeah. So we got the 2025 schedule, and as of filming, we are 79 days until week 0, 84 days until week 1 for the Scarlet Knights on Thursday Night Football on the Big Ten Network. And Ohio may look easy, but it's not really an easy game. Like for those that really tune in to
You have
college.
to know, yeah. Like they went on a 7-game winning streak to end the year last year.
Oh man, they're nuts. The Ohio Bobcats.
Who would have thought?
And Miami, Ohio, they look pretty good,
Do
but
they?
not as good as Ohio. But
See,
still,
the consensus among Scarlet Knight Nation is that the first 3 have to be gimme. They have to be the gimme games.
Ohio doesn't feel like a gimme.
It doesn't feel like it to me either. But it's not
No.
up there with like the Minnesotas, Washington, Iowa, Illinois, you know?
Oh yeah. And Rutgers is basically a trap game for Iowa because Iowa's going to be sitting there thinking about Indiana for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Iowa, Adam keeps raving about their defense, but the thing is they do have a great defense, but they have no offense. Their best wide receiver was ranked 18th, dead last in the Big Ten by, I want to say CBS Sports.
Oh God. I was ranked 18th out of how many? 18.
Unless I'm getting my numbers confused. I know they were last. I believe it was 18th.
Oh my
I can't
God.
even keep track anymore because it feels like schools keep moving left and right in these conferences.
Oh man, that is nuts. 18 out of
So
18.
yeah, not good to assume, but you can at least assume 2-1 in the first 3.
Oh, agreed. And if you really a key to victory to beating Iowa is make them throw the ball.
Yeah.
Make them throw.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, our front 4 is actually really good. We got a lot of good transfers. Eric O'Neal was put on the defensive player of the year watch by I forget what the award is technically called, DPOY watch list that it's for, but he was put on that list, and he's from JMU. just like Doug Blue Eli, who we got. So they're going to be a nose tackle and lefty DN. So they're going to be on the same side. The only thing that's tough about our defense is we only got 2 guys back. We got Daryl Jabome, and then we got, I think it's Bo Masco is the one returning. It was either him or Kaj Sanders. I believe it's Bo Masco. But everyone else is a transfer.
Well, and I will say that this looks like an upset special for week 4. Rutgers over Iowa.
I
Sorry,
think so.
Corey Braddock from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Sorry, Iowa Nation, but this could be an upset by Rutgers because, I mean, Iowa going to Piscataway, New Jersey the week before they play
It's on
Indiana.
Fox. It's our first game on national television besides Peacock. But Peacock, you got to get a subscription for.
I mean, at least they're not going to try to put like a Rutgers game, like be like, oh, well, we're going to air it like after Bob's Burgers or The Simpsons.
Yeah. Well, that lineup I think is Sunday nights, or is it Mondays? It's one of the 2.
Oh, it's Sunday nights,
Okay.
but I wouldn't be surprised if Fox just get lazy with some of their lineup changes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Iowa Rutgers 8 p.m. national television. I'm excited for that one. That might be the game I'm most excited for this year.
Oh man, that'll be a fun one. Rutgers, Minnesota looks pretty enticing. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I know some people, again, they're gonna be like, it's a Peacock app game. It's like,
Nope.
no problem. I'll watch that game on my phone while I'm watching all the other games.
Or certain websites that I do not advise using, but may end up using. But you know what's good about this game? The real juicy aspect of it. It is Ethan Kaliakmanis's return game. It's his revenge game against Minnesota.
Ooh, that's gonna be a really juicy story right there.
So back-to-back weeks, right? It's like first possible top 25 team of the year, and then Ethan returning to Minnesota.
Ooh, Rutgers going to Washington after their bye week. Oh man,
That's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough.
Oh man, you and I are old enough to remember when there's like a non-con game.
Yeah, but Washington just happened to become a juggernaut out of nowhere in the 2020s before last year, really.
Oh yeah.
They were nowhere to be found last year, but you look at 2 years ago, that magical run they had, and you thought they would build upon it. Now, last year is not going to happen again. They're going to be very good this year, but they're not going to be like, you look at the next week, they're not going to be like on that Duck level good. They're just going to be solid.
Oh yeah. Like I want to see what Washington brings for 2025, although I feel like it's going to be better than where they had it last year.
Yeah, for sure. Because that was
And
a transition year. I think we can win that game too. It's going to be tough because Husky Stadium might be the best home field advantage in, at least on the West Coast. But I think we can still do it.
there you go, man. And Oregon, that's a scary one right
Yeah,
there.
that one you can you might as well cross. I'm not even supposed to be saying this, but you might as well cross that one off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or-
like if if beating Iowa, Minnesota, and Washington, if we can go 2-1 in that, that's a W. We can't go 1-2 or the season's over.
Yeah.
Because every other team besides maybe Maryland is supposed to be better than us.
Man, Purdue, Purdue looks easy, but the thing is they've got a new coach in Barry Odom, and I'll be honest, he's a lot better than Ryan Walters.
Yeah. I mean, they went close to winless last year, right?
Yes.
Did they go 0-12?
No, they went 1-11.
Oh, okay.
See,
See,
I'll have to double check on FBS schedules. The one I'm on, yep, 1-11.
yeah, okay. See, Indiana is such a Indiana University, Notre Dame kind of state. I didn't even know that Purdue was in Indiana for a long time.
Oh wow.
Just because it doesn't seem like the Boilermakers, that kind of makes sense because the railroads, I I believe that's what it has to do with. I made a post on this actually. I should know it, but I believe that's what Boilermakers has to do with is making the railroads for like those old school Industrial Revolution trains. So I think that's what it comes down to for the name.
Wow, Purdue's that bad where it's like, oh, we don't know where Lafayette. Where's that at?
I mean, you think they're probably better than Miami, Ohio, and they're definitely better than Norfolk State.
True. And
Are they
Illinois,
better? They're not better than Ohio, though. I don't think.
no. And the fact of the matter is, for like the last 2 decades, a MAC team has always given a Big Ten team trouble.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a better special, which once again, we're not advocating gambling, but if you are putting a game on your parlay, make sure to keep an eye on Rutgers, Ohio, and Rutgers, Miami, Ohio.
It's kind of strange that, I mean, I get the logic for it. Sorry, there's a bug on my laptop. It's kind of strange. I get the logic for it, but banning player props for schools, it's a little frustrating if you're up that alley as a gambling man.
Oh man, it's like we'll definitely see what happens in the future for sure.
Did you
And
see that advertisement they were running during March Madness that was like, "Don't bully the players if the team you bet on loses." They were like, "That's not cool."
oh, I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's
ads,
not gonna
ads.
work. There's always gonna be that degeneracy.
Oh yeah. Oh man. It's
Now,
like,
Illinois, I want to talk about because I don't know if you remember, but last year we got our hearts broken by Illinois.
yes.
You do remember?
Mhm.
Yeah, we went on this. We were down, I think 4 points. Yeah, we were down 4 points, and Ethan leads this offense on an incredible comeback drive. Now, aside from one ball he threw that almost got intercepted, but it hit the ground first, thankfully, he had a beautiful drive. I'm talking, it was probably the best I've seen him throw. It was the most clutch performance I've seen from him. And he would have been like bar mitzvah, like, like in bar mitzvahs, they put the guy on the chair and they're like, yippee! And they throw them in the air and stuff. That would have been Nathan. But
Oh,
our freaking defense had to spoil it. And it wasn't really them, it was our scheming. We went full on blitz on 4th and 13 at the 50,
mm,
and we got burned for it. And we lost by 3 points because we allowed a game-winning touchdown with 13 seconds left.
Disco
So,
Inferno.
so that game, that's every Scarlet Knight fan has that one circled.
Oh man. I'll definitely be tuning into that one. I hope they put it on CBS. Honestly, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean it's to be announced. I think people know about that story. Minnesota, I don't think that one was on national TV yet either. But those
Fox Sports One.
oh, okay.
I
It is on
think it was Fox. No, that was Illinois, Minnesota. My bad. I'm looking at Illinois. My mistake. NBC Peacock. So it's like, yeah, yeah. They also had like Florida State Notre Dame that night, which,
I mean, that's technically the better game, right? But
well, I mean, like Florida State, all they're mouthing off is we're gonna leave you. We're gonna leave you to the ACC. It gets as annoying as Candace trying to bust Phineas and Ferb. Where it's like,
what happened to FSU? I mean, ever since they whined about not being in the playoffs, it seems like they just went downhill.
oh, I mean that it's like they've cried about the ACC, which I mean, rightfully so. They did get screwed over, but still, though,
Yeah, you can't control your schedule. You did go undefeated, but
exactly.
Jordan Travis did have a career-ending injury. And by the way, that sucks because, I mean, Jordan Travis had a very promising NFL career.
I mean, it was just nuts what happened.
He was
Like,
on Heisman and alert for a long time that year.
yeah, I hope he does well. I hope he's got a bright future ahead, which I'm sure he does. I mean, he's a
Well,
smart young man.
yeah, because you did hear that he had to retire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. He just couldn't recover.
Hey, maybe the voice of college football can add him in some capacity.
Those who can't do teach. Tell us everything you know, Mister.
There you go.
Let's
He can
hear.
be the Uncle Iroh, like he was for Zuko.
He'll be our more tolerable Gruden.
There you go. Oh man, we're just rocking and rolling.
Yeah. So Maryland, uh, I always thought that they're like people don't like Maryland. They don't like Terrapins. They don't like that identity that aren't from the area. I really like what they have, that identity. It's really cool to me. If you look up what a terrapin is, it's actually a really pretty shell of a turtle. And Go Terps, I think is cool. They had the I think it was the Fab Five this year for Maryland in March Madness. So I'm a fan of them, but for that series, that game, I'm gonna have to put my fandom aside and root for the Scarlet Knights.
Oh man, that'll be interesting to see. And Ohio State, I feel like they're going to be playing down to Rutgers, which once again, we always see this from Ohio State and Michigan. The week before the game, they play down to their opponents a little bit. They have a fantastic win.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Jeremiah Smith is either gonna get 250 yards against us or 30.
Oh, Lord.
See, we have a really good corner that we got from Penn State, actually. And it's one of the rare times that we stole a Penn State guy, Cam Miller. He's our starting cornerback, or what's it called? Starting left side cornerback next year. And I really think he's got all Big Ten potential, and like definitely could be drafted. Like, I don't want to say day one, but like early day two. Like, he's that good. So hopefully he does his thing against Jeremiah.
Well, and Penn State Rutgers, I see that on rivalry week. I mean, nothing against Rutgers, Penn State, but it's just that doesn't scream rivalry week to me.
Well, yeah, it really comes down to the guys in Pennsylvania during recruitment. We're bringing in two guys in 2026, and they're bringing in four, both in the top 10 from Pennsylvania. And I I believe that that's why it's a rivalry, is because of recruiting, really.
That is a possibility. Although, like Penn State calls themselves unrivaled.
Nah, I mean, look, will we lose? Probably. I think it'll be a lot closer than people think, though. I'm thinking like 16-13. It'll be an ugly loss.
I hope Rutgers keeps it close with Penn State
I
because
think we will.
yeah, that would be pretty cool. And
Ohio State, we're getting a belt to butt whooping, but
yeah,
Penn State, Nittany Lions. I think they're going to be playing down to us a lot more than Ohio State. I think.
well, I'll definitely be making sure to keep an eye on Rutgers Penn State. I just hope it's not on 2:30 Central Time.
Yeah, the games to keep an eye on would definitely be Ohio, because that's the tone setter. It's like we need to show that, like, not only are we not going to get upset, but hopefully it's not close. So it's Ohio, Iowa, because that's the first elite defense we face, Minnesota for the eighth in return game, Illinois because of last year's heartbreak, and then between Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State, I think Penn State is the one that'll be the closest. A lot of people think Penn State is better than Ohio State next year. I don't see it.
Well, I mean, it's like Penn State, they always come up short in the big moments. And I honestly feel like it's much similar to Ohio State from last season. Like, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Penn State was to go on some kind of playoff run like they did last year. But like last year, they had easy schmeezy opponents in SMU and Boise State, right? And they blew it against Notre Dame with Sean McDonough throwing his puberty voice out when Notre Dame hit that game-winning field goal.
It should not have been Notre Dame beating Penn State. That was unreal.
Oh man, that
Aller, Abdul Carter on the same team, and you can't make it past Notre Dame, who many people didn't even know if they would make the playoffs. They lost to, who was it? Was it Western Indiana or something?
Notre Dame lost in Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois, yeah.
Yeah,
You
I saw
can't.
like Thomas Hammock on like the on one of those Barstool Sports shows. I saw him on Whitlock. I saw him on Dan Patrick. He was on like on a promoting tour.
I wouldn't. I don't blame him, especially when you beat the runner-ups.
I know, right? It was like for week 3, weeks 4, he was on that little promoting tour. But then it's like, okay, we let this game go to our head.
Yeah. One thing I want to circle back to about Rutgers, I was talking about recruiting. Our recruiting shot up from number 33 in the nation to now we're top 20 in 2026.
Oh wow, like
And
that's looking good.
we're the number 7th we're the number 7 ranked transfer portal for this 2025 year too.
Ooh,
Like Coach Shiano is really building a nice culture in Piscataway.
oh here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at the recruiting classes for 2026, shall we? Let's see. Do. Oh
I think
wow.
it's from On 3 or Rivals.
Oh, there we go. So we're looking at 247 Sports,
7, okay.
and as of right now, Rutgers is
Not 8th.
8th in the net as while we're filming this episode. Like that's huge.
Yeah, look at all those. So we have a bunch of 3 stars, and 3 stars are like you'll take them because you know they have promise, but you're not necessarily like throwing a celebration every time you get one. But we're getting a good amount of 4 stars too.
Wow.
We just got the number 1 running back in Michigan.
Wow.
Like I'm telling you, like people are really sleeping on the recruiting that Coach Shiano and his staff are doing. And we
Um,
just got, you know what else is huge? We just got a new president, President William F. Tate. I think it's the 4th. And he was president of LSU from 2021 to current. So
Ellis
that's
who?
to what?
Ellis who?
LSU? Yeah. No, yeah, he was president of LSU from 2021 onward.
And on 3, and you were just talking about it.
So maybe is that the oh, that's for recruiting. So maybe I was thinking of 247.
Yep. On 3 has Rutgers at 27th in the nation for the 2026 recruiting class. 247 has Rutgers at 8th. Now let's look at rivals before they officially merge with on 3.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that was happening.
Oh yeah, rivals and on 3. It's like, oh man, it's like, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how that turns out.
Yeah, they have potential.
Oh yeah. Oh come on. Let's look at the no, not the 250. No, we're gonna look at the team rankings. There it is. There it is.
Team rankings for this year or for the 2026 recruiting?
2026.
Got you. Yeah, we've gotten like 18 guys in the past like 3 days, I think, or 4 days.
Oh man,
Nice.
Rutgers is ranked 9th via rivals for the recruiting class on
Yeah,
2026.
it's beautiful. We've never been a top half team out of 134, let alone this high.
Oh man. That's huge. Like you're 8th according to 247. Like Rutgers is 8th according to 247 Sports, 9th according to rivals.com, 27th according to on 3 for
If
2020.
27th, if that's our floor, I'll take it.
Oof, that's huge right there.
But that really means like we can't be losing guys to the transfer portal and NIL deals, but we're recruiting them great. You know what? Our out of state recruiting has gotten a lot better. We're getting a lot of guys from North Carolina, from Virginia. We're getting some from Illinois.
There you go.
And then Pennsylvania, like I said, we got 2 of the top 10 guys for that graduating class. So, you know, a lot of freshmen don't play, but 2028 really, that's junior year. As long as 2/3 of them haven't transferred by that point, we should honestly be a playoff team in 2028.
The birthplace of college football, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and the
Yes, sir.
going into the 156th year of college football.
Yes, sir. And yeah, we've got some great history, some great social aspects of it too. I believe we had one of the first colored players in the nation in 1918. I'm
Wow.
forgetting. I, he'll have to forgive me because I'm forgetting his name at the moment. But we actually coined a day this year to honor him in New Jersey. It's this is gonna bother me now. I have to look it up. Rutgers first black player. Paul Robeson, yes, Paul
Ooh.
Robeson. We have Paul Robeson Day. I believe it's like April 9th or something now.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Yeah, Governor Murphy, I believe, coined that this year. April 9th, yes.
There we go, man. That's a big win right there. And that's all you also got the first ever game of college football history against Princeton, which I am gonna scream for Rutgers Prince to be an annual matchup. Like usually, I
Oh,
don't push for FBS FCS matchups to be an annual thing, but I want Rutgers Princeton to be an annual matchup because I
that
mean
should
that
be the
just
spring
feels
game, honestly. Like enough of this like red jerseys versus black jerseys. It should be
right.
for us, Rutgers versus Princeton.
That would be cool. That would be extremely cool. At Boston College, Holy Cross as
Oh, I
well.
was gonna say I don't even know if they have a football team. I was gonna say Boston College, Boston University.
Oh, that sounds good too. Like Boston College, Holy Cross, and Boston
Like
College, Boston University.
lighthearted rivalries. Like I don't think you guys versus Auburn because that's just too much hatred in that. Same thing goes for Michigan, Michigan State, or Ohio State. It would have to be the lighthearted ones.
Oh, there you go, man.
How are you feeling about Bama next year?
I think Alabama can do it 2025. Like I
Do it.
talked about it
Like,
with Leanne Herring and Mark Rogers and on last night's edition of On the Move, and I've got a great feeling about our offense. And for
yeah,
those that tune in on Alabama with the Voice College Football Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, you'll hear me talk about how I love where our tight end game is going. I love how we've got other wide receivers besides Ryan Williams. It's not all on Ryan Williams. And
yeah.
whoever's our next quarterback between Ty Simpson or Keelan Russell, the winner of that quarterback battle is going to be very, very happy going
Are
into
you
2020.
concerned that there hasn't been a winner yet?
No.
I feel like quarterback battles, if they take longer, it could mean that neither one of them is getting enough separation.
Well, because like honestly, I kind of figure that this will take a while. Like we'll know more by week 1, and I think we're gonna get more of an answer by fall camp.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. What's up?
Oh, oh, go ahead.
I was about to segue into something else I had in mind.
Ooh.
So it's funny because your name is Jackson Johnson, but the Auburn quarterback shares your name, and you're going to have to root against him. He's going to be one of your biggest enemies, Jackson Arnold.
Oh yeah, from Oklahoma.
Yeah, and Oklahoma produces some great quarterbacks,
They do indeed. They most certainly do.
whether it's via the transfer portal or homegrown.
Oh yeah, like I'm curious to see what John Mater is going to bring for Oklahoma. I like what he's going to bring to the table. I think Oklahoma saw a lot of what Washington State brings on offense, and they thought themselves, "Okay, Brent, you guys save your job. This is the best way to do it."
Yeah, I was making a post yesterday, and it'll be up either on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think on Tuesday, but I was going through some of the old Alabama teams, and I made one for the 2017 year. That team had some names on it. That was probably one of the most stacked teams on paper I've ever seen. Even though half of them were too young to be starting at that point, it was just full of Pro Bowlers in the NFL now.
Man,
Like,
2017 was nuts.
yeah,
Like it's funny though, because like we always hear like some of the Michigan, Ohio State people on Twitter and Instagram going at it, saying like, "Oh, Ohio State has a Mickey Mouse natty because they didn't beat Michigan." Oh, well, Michigan's natty didn't count. But you never hear Auburn fans at Bama about
nope.
2017, and you never hear Bama fans yammering at Georgia about 2021, going, "Oh, well, those are Mickey Mouse." You'll never hear that from Bama, Georgia, or Auburn.
See, I thought even though this might be a hot take because you beat them on the last week, but I really thought that Georgia should have still made the playoffs that year.
Oh yeah, because I mean, it's like I think we should have had like an 8-team playoff for
Yeah, at that point.
2023.
At that point, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I was looking like on the running backs alone, you have 4 guys maybe, or no, 3 guys that in the NFL today, if you're a fantasy football player, you could draft in probably the first 3 or 4 rounds, definitely the first 4 rounds. Josh Jacobs, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson, and none of them were starting. Damian Harris was the starter, and Bo Scarborough, I think, was the backup, right?
Yeah, I mean that was just like holy Toledo. That was nuts.
You know what got me though was the wide receiver core. How Robert Foster, of all the dudes on the roster, was a top 2 receiver that year behind obviously Calvin Ridley. But then Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs obviously was a beast in college, Cam Sims, and then Jalen was still starting over Tua that year.
Oof. Yeah, I mean it's like 2nd and 26 to win the Natty. That was huge right there. Like everybody got excited. Chris Fowler got excited. Sean McDonough threw his voice out on ESPN radio. Eli Gold got excited. Everyone was like cheering when that happened. Well, I mean, we were not a lot of people, but
Yeah, not your neighbors. Was that was that sort of your payback for them being the only loss that year?
It's a possibility, you might say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Auburn, you hold on to that win like it's a trophy.
To tell you the truth, I actually wanted Auburn to win the SEC against Georgia in 2017 so that Alabama and Auburn could meet each other in the playoffs or the national title. Like Alabama wins their playoff game, Auburn wins their playoff game, then they meet each other for the Natty.
You wanted the smoke. You wanted the revenge game from 2015.
I wanted like revenge like sooner. I didn't want to wait a full year, but I mean, on the bright side, waiting a year. I mean, I got to go to my first ever Iron Bowl in my lifetime, so that was a
Oh,
plus.
that's awesome. I've never been to a college football game.
Oh wow,
I've only been to one NFL game.
man, I've never been to an NFL game.
I don't know. It might have just been because it was raining and we were up in the bleachers, but I didn't really like it. I mean, granted, the quarterback battle that day was Mike White versus Trevor Siemian.
Oh man,
because I was a Jets fan and we benched Zach Wilson, and the Bears they had Justin Fields, but he was injured that week.
And you said it was Trevor Siemian and who again?
Trevor Siemian for the Bears versus Mike White.
Oh, you should have asked for your money back for a refund.
Yeah, it was just a day of and it was raining too, and I drove an hour to be there.
Oh man, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, man.
We won, and Mike White put up like 400 yards.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, at least you got some for your money.
Oh yeah, I mean, what a first game, right?
Oh man,
but it was still ugly. It was like 19-3.
Oh man, 19.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of games.
Oh man, like there was like a weird game throughout the NFL history. I think it was where like the Texans beat the Steelers.
I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there were like no offensive touchdowns, something like that, or like it was all defensive, or like on
they won. I think it was 15-14, and they got 5 field goals, and the Steelers got 2 touchdowns.
Oof. That it's just not.
It was the first time that a team's had multiple touchdowns and lost to a team with no touchdowns.
That's 24-6. That's what it was. Oh my God. And no offense, no offensive yardage. Basically 46 from the Texans, 422 total offensive yards from the Steelers.
Like, who are you even mad at in that situation?
It's like,
I guess coach.
Oh my God.
Like, who do you even blame?
Who can you blame? I mean, a win's a win, I guess, if you're the winning team.
Yeah.
No offensive yards, but hey, we won.
That game I went to would have been a lot better if we did face Justin Fields, though, because then I could say I saw the Jets' current starting quarterback.
Oh man, that holy Toledo. That's
I'm just
nuts.
hoping he beats the Ohio State bust allegations. I think
Oh
he
man,
will.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, he really has Pro Bowl promise. It's just a matter of, like, does he finally have enough weapons? And, Garrett Wilson's too good of a player, but the thing is, like, he hasn't elevated that into wins. It's not his fault. It's just, like, the usage rate. It's not there. It's not
Yeah, I
working.
mean, it's like the Bears have not had like a useful quarterback in like throughout most of its history. Like, I mean, Jim McMahon was there for the Super Bowl run for 1985, I believe. But
Isn't it crazy that they've never had a 4,000-yard passer?
yeah, I know, right? It's
I
nuts.
think Caleb Williams can do it this year.
Like George Blanda couldn't get things done at the
Jay
Bears.
Cutler, who everyone thought every year, oh, he's the MVP this year. He's the MVP this year.
Oh man, it's like I
Kyle
really
Orton. Kyle
like.
Orton was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like anybody that leaves the Bears. It's like you have great days ahead of you.
Yeah, Fields did good last year on the Steelers, but you have a guy named Russell Wilson on your team. You're probably not starting in front of him for too long.
Oh, for sure, man.
But yeah, I
Or
think he was 6-2.
oh yeah, it's like the Bears QB room. Like I mean, like Mitch Trubisky. It seemed like he
He
was
was a
doing
Pro
all
Bowler
right,
too.
huh?
He was a Pro Bowler too.
Oh yeah,
He had,
that's the weird part too. It's like he was a Pro Bowler, but then it was no, we're not gonna do well with this guy.
hey man, I got to see Trevor Siemian. That's all I needed.
There you go, man.
So technically, I still did see two Jets quarterbacks because he was a Jets quarterback at one point too.
Well, I will say, I hope the Jets have better luck with Justin Fields. And if anything's bad happening in the Justin Fields era, I don't think it's going to be because of Justin Fields. I don't even think it's going to be because of the head coach. I just think it's because of Woody Johnson, the owner. I've got nothing nice to say about him either.
Yeah, New York sports owners. If you're not named Steve Cohen, you're likely going to have some things said about you.
Oh, yeah. I'll make sure to kind of curb
I
my
guess
tongue.
George Steinbrenner too for the Yankees is pretty good.
You're fired, Billy Martin. No, you're unfired. You're fired. No, you're unfired.
I still can't believe all the rumors last year about his son making decisions or, based on Madden ratings. I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah, I'm just like I don't care who's topping the Madden ratings.
Yeah. I mean, Cam Jurgens, the center for the Eagles, he just made a Pro Bowl and he's a 74 overall.
Mm.
Like, Madden
It,
ratings are stupid, honestly. Like, 2K ratings, I hate to even give 2K props, but at least they make sense.
I haven't even gotten Madden in like a few years,
Me
honestly.
neither.
It's
I
like
think the gameplay is just so corny now. How anytime you throw a deep ball, it's an interception. Uh, it's impossible to break tackles.
yeah, I mean it's like can we bring back NFL 2K? And while we're at it, bring back Chris Berman for the
Hmm.
studio voice, please.
You know what game I really liked? CFB 25 when it came out. In
Oh
fact,
wow.
I liked it so much that I don't think they should have made it 26. I think they should have just kept updating the roster and milked the hell out of the game like GTA 5.
Oh man, it's like I love GTA 5. Like that's a
Like
classic right there.
they basically made the game GTA 5 into like 30 different games with all the updates. I think they should have done that with CFB 25. Like
Yeah, I mean
that game could have been a classic.
yeah, because I mean, like, it's like on the one hand, I'm kind of an old man where I've got like a PS4, but on the other hand, it's like, we've got a few friends. I think I'll just go play PS5 at a friend's house.
I mean, it's funny too. Like these players care about their ratings, especially in college. Like I was at my friend's house in Philly, and he goes to Temple, and he's in like Temple housing, right? And his roommates or his housemates are all Temple players for the football team, and it's funny because one of the guys was going in. He was like, "Oh, is that CFB 25?" And I'm like, or my friend was like, "Yeah, like." It's a fun ass game. And he's like, yeah, it just sucks that I'm a 60 overall though.
Oh man.
We were playing as him. He's like their third string quarterback, I think.
I will say it is pretty fun, like playing Grand Theft Auto. Which I mean, once I get my PlayStation set back to where I had it, I'll
Yeah.
be able to play Grand Theft Auto again and go to Trevor mode. Go, it's Trevor time.
I like that. Yeah, GTA 6 though, whenever it comes out, I think NBA 2K is done because they're gonna have basketball in it, and they're gonna make it like good too.
Oh,
Like
there
you're
you
gonna
go.
be able to go online, play basketball, and then after you're done with the game, if you're mad at your opponent, instead of like doing some stupid like, you can just shoot them. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's different. Instead of just talking trash on a mic, you can actually do something violent.
I think we're gonna see like Alabama, Georgia Tech come back before we see GTA 6. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama, Georgia Tech. I think both of them. I think the guy's name is Jared Smith, that the prospect. Although I think I might be confusing him with someone else that we just got. But there's some prospect that's between Rutgers, Alabama, Georgia Tech, Georgia, and I think Notre Dame. So the fact that Rutgers is just thrown in the loop like that is pretty promising to me.
Wow. It's definitely promising, that's for sure. And I cannot wait to see what the Rutgers Scarlet Knights bring through the rest of 2025. And I can't wait to see what tonight's edition of the NBA Finals will bring.
So I
Right
said
at
who I have. Who do you have? How many games?
I'm going to say Thunder and 6.
Do you think anyone outside of Pacers fans, like analytically, is saying the Pacers will win?
Not that many.
I don't think so either.
But if I'm the Pacers, I use that as a motivation factor.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of what Rutgers is doing, in my opinion. Like, no one knows that they're a top 10 recruiting class in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, it's like unless you're college football sickos like us.
Exactly.
So
If
there
you're
we go.
also a college football sicko, you know where to tune in every week. No matter who your team is, there's always someone for you at the Voice of College Football.
There you go. And you can check out Gabriel Pickup with Adam Lamparello on Rutgers at the Voice of College Football, Monday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Time, all right there on the link down below. Monday nights. Make it your go-to appointment.
Yes, if you want to see someone get humbled for their irrational takes, you know where to go because Adam Lamparello, love you, buddy, but you are full of them.
Oh man. And you can check out Gabriel's articles on pickuprights.com, and you can give a follow to NBA Rumors and News on Instagram. It is 28,000 followers away from 100,000 followers. Let's help Gabe get it there, and
Yes,
let's also
please.
let's help him give a follow on his personal Instagram and his personal @/Twitter account on Gabriel Pickup.
Ime
And
Udoka, come to the Knicks, baby.
come on in, Emu Udoka. And of course, you can check me out on the 40th edition of Crimson Tide Live, where Coach Burch and I go over our take on the latest news and notes on the Crimson Tide. Jeffrey is not there with us this week because he's on a much needed vacation, but he will be back next week.
Jeffrey.
I know, right? It's like he'll be back, no worries. And of course, we've got the 35th edition of the Alabama Call-In Show, 6:30 p.m. It's airing right now, so you come on in. So Coach Smook is subbing in for Jeffrey to Only Talk Sports, but no worries. He and I will take your calls all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football, taking your calls discussing the Alabama Crimson Tide. And you can check Coach Smook on Alabama Primetime Live with Manny Wilson Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time. And you can check out Coach Burt's Jeffrey Only Talk Sports and myself Monday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time on Alabama at the Voice of College Football, where we go over our takes. And you can check out a lot of the other episodes of the Jacksonian, including my next episode with Matt Zimick from Trojans Wire, the Voice of College Football, USC Primetime Live, where we go over our take as to whether the USC Notre Dame rivalry is going away, staying, What's the fate of that rivalry? What's the fate of Lincoln Riley? Much, much more. And thank you guys so much for helping me get close to 1,000 subs because I am now sit at 675 subs. 325 subs away from that magic number 1,000. I can't get there without you guys. So thank you guys for helping me get there. And of course, if you want to hear what's going to be going on Alabama with the boys college football or the Jacksonian or on my once week calls on the Paul Feinbaum show, where the weekends are full of surprises. Check me out on Jackson VOCFB on @/Twitter, on Instagram and threads at Jackson Johnson 543908. But also, if you don't like @ or Instagram for whatever reason, you can chat me out on Blue Sky. Jackson Johnson, nice have Blue Sky Social, where my friend Mike Debate says where the skies are blue. And with that being said, we wish you all a happy Thursday night and to stay safe, stay cool, and stay away from the heat. And like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss no video whatsoever. And we will see you soon. Take
Go
care.
Scarlet Knights and Roll Tide.
There you go. Go Scarlet Knights and Roll Tide.